The Tragedy of Karbala is an epic of unmatched sacrifice, justice, and courage. It began in 680 AD, 60 AH, following the death of the ruler Muawiyah. His son, Yazid, seized the caliphate, demanding unconditional allegiance to legitimize his corrupt rule. Imam Hussein, the grandson of the Prophet Muhammad, stood as a barrier to this tyranny. For Hussein, swearing allegiance to a tyrant would destroy the ethical foundations of Islam.
He famously declared that a man like him could never pledge allegiance to a man like Yazid, choosing exile over submission.
To protect the holy sanctuary of Mecca from bloodshed, Hussein departed with his family, including women, elderly relatives, and young children, alongside a small group of loyal companions. They journeyed toward Kufa, Iraq, after receiving thousands of letters from its citizens pleading for his leadership. However, as the caravan drew near, Yazid's governor, Ibn Ziyad, ruthlessly suppressed the Kufa uprising, leaving Hussein stranded. On the second day of Muharram, a massive military force intercepted Hussein's caravan, forcing them to camp on the parched, burning plains of Karbala. Within days, a sprawling army of thousands surrounded the small camp of just over 72 men. On the 7th of Muharram, the enemy carried out a devastating cruelty. They blocked all access to the nearby Euphrates River. For 3 agonizing days, under a scorching desert sun, the camp suffered from severe, unyielding thirst. Yet their resolve never fractured. On the eve of the 10th of Muharram, known as Ashura, Imam Hussein gathered his followers. He extinguished the lamps in his tent, plunging the room into darkness so no one would feel ashamed, and told his companions they were free to leave under the cover of night. Unanimously, they refused, choosing to stand and die by his side for justice. When dawn broke on Ashura, the heavily outnumbered companions stood firm. One by one, Hussein's loyal friends, brothers, nephews, and sons advanced to the battlefield, fighting with legendary bravery. Among them was his brother, Abbas, who fought his way to the river to secure water for the crying children. Bound by profound loyalty, Abbas refused to drink a single drop while Hussein remained thirsty, but he was tragically cut down on his return. Even Hussein's 6-month-old infant son, Ali Asghar, was targeted and killed by an enemy arrow. Finally, Imam Hussein stood entirely alone. Covered in wounds and exhausted by grief, he stepped onto the battlefield. He fought heroically, not for power, but to preserve human dignity. In his final moments, while prostrating in prayer on the scorching sand, he was assassinated. The enemy then plundered the camp and took the surviving women and children, led by Hussein's courageous sister Zainab, as captives to Damascus. Though physically defeated, Hussein's sacrifice achieved a spiritual victory. He exposed the illegitimacy of the tyrant and drew a permanent line between justice and oppression. The tragedy of Karbala remains an immortal symbol of resistance, echoing the eternal truth that dying with dignity is far greater than living under humiliation.